Hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of the Movie Kit Podcast. I'm your host, Kit Bowen. It's great to be back. We've been gone for a little bit of time, but we're back. And the we I'm talking about is my very good friend Joel Amos. Joel, how are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. It has been a little bit of time, but life happens. But we're back, and we're gonna end up talking about, well, the one big movie coming out this weekend, Supergirl. But then we're also gonna just briefly touch upon Disclosure Day and Toy Story 5, which are two movies that came out in the last couple of weeks, because we like to touch upon the ones that we have seen. But we're gonna start off with Supergirl. Bop, 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 bop. Let me read the description here. Kara Zor-El, aka Supergirl, joins forces with an unlikely companion on an interstellar journey of vengeance and justice when an expected adversary strikes too close to home. Yes, we are now introduced to a brand new Supergirl, which was once played by what? Helen Slater. I can't believe all these other people in the girl. Who's the one who played her on TV? Melissa Benoist, something like that. I can't remember. Do you remember?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah,
But
that was
our
her.
our new Supergirl is Milly Alcock from the House of Dragons fame. She plays Kara, and also starring this Eve Ridley, Matthias. How do you say this guy's last name? Matthias Schoenaerts?
Schoenaerts.
What is it?
Schoenaerts.
Okay, Schoenaerts. Well, if you guys
Yeah.
look him up, you guys know who he is. He's a great actor. Um, those are the main stars of the film, and of course, David Corenswet, who played Superman in the reboot Superman a few years ago. He also makes some cameos in this, but it's pretty much all Millie all the time for this. And I thought she was great, but I'm gonna let you start us off. What did you think of Supergirl?
I really liked it. I
Hmm.
mean, it didn't knock my socks off, but I enjoyed it. I like her a lot. I think
Yes.
she's just fantastic for what they're going for with this Supergirl, and I think they've kind of created Supergirl that's kind of one of the best I've seen uh, over the years. Like you mentioned,
Yeah.
Helen Slater and others who have played her. I think this is the most uh, devoted to the lore and the comic books that we've seen, and I think that was really well done. And I think initially when the first trailer came out, people were like, "Oh, it looks like Supergirl meets Guardians of the Galaxy."
Yeah. Which he was a
Why are
little.
we taking her off of Earth? And it
Right.
was a little for sure.
Yeah.
But I think it was smart to take her off of Earth because, we just literally, I think last summer or summer before we were introduced to Superman. So I think it was nice to kind of give her her own world, which was, obviously off of Earth. I thought the plot was, pretty good. It definitely struck close to home. When everybody loves crypto from the first Superman movie, but it turns out as you learn, spoiler, I guess, if you haven't seen Superman, that actually it's Supergirl's dog.
Yes.
Um, and so, as you've seen in the trailer, he gets crypto gets poisoned, but there's an antidote. It takes 3 days to kill the thing, and so she has 3 days, and thus starts the timer, which I also think is a great tool of storytelling. Is when you're on the clock, there's some
Right.
built-in suspense. But I thought it was pretty good. I think it kind of lulled in a couple of spots, but I think overall, I enjoyed it, and I thought Jason Momoa was just fantastic as Lobo, and
Right.
I thought the two of them were great together, and I hear that they're going to be making a Lobo solo movie, but Jason Momoa is insisting that it's R-rated, like a Deadpool, because
Ah,
that would fit the character. If you go into the comic books, he's not a PG guy.
right.
So I really thought he was great, and it was a great way to introduce him. And him and her were great together. It was fun. It was a good summer movie.
Yeah. That's the way I thought about it too. It was fun. It was fun because of her. I think
Hmm.
she really embodies this character. I liked the first half actually a little bit better than the second half. I liked it when she was sort of, you know, kind of a hot mess.
Yeah, a
Trying
mess. Yeah.
she's just, yeah, she just pub crawling, or what do they call it? Planet crawling, I guess. But
Right.
she, is obviously has had a traumatic childhood because you kind of find out her backstory a little bit, which I liked too. Um, and, she ends up kind of teaming up with this other young girl who ends up having some tragic things happen to her as well. And they're both after the same big bad guy, played by Matthias, who was pretty gross, pretty awful. And there's some other things to this film too that I thought was a little like not great, I mean not great meaning just the theme of it, like human trafficking, and I mean it was just like all this
Hmm.
other stuff that was going on that was kind of weird. Uh, but yeah, like I said, I liked it because of her the most. There was, again, there if they had to do one slow-mo, go around the camera spinning around type action sequences, there's a little too many of those. I like my pet peeve about superhero movies in general is that, they always end up having some very lots of action sequences with one big climactic action sequence, and that kind of happened in this, but that was okay. I mean, I was along with it. They could have cut out a few of those. So also the I lost my powers, or I gained my powers, and then I lost my powers, and I gained my powers. There's a lot of that going on as well, sort of back and forth on that, which got a little tiresome, like you said. Um, but overall, I did enjoy the characterization of Supergirl. I think she'll make a nice addition to whatever they end up continuing to do with the DC films. But overall, the DC films still just can't quite hit it. I don't, except for the Batman movies. I just don't understand why. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, we both kind of liked the Superman that came out, what was it, 2 years ago? Um,
Yeah,
but
I like that one.
it still didn't quite hit it, did it? Just
Uh,
under, I don't know.
and that's that one I actually liked a lot more than over time. I think it's
Yeah,
really grown on me, and it's fit the times that we're living through. And I think that that
yeah,
part really got me, just really got me a little
that's
frequent.
true.
And
That's true.
um, but I mean, I think they're on a better path with James Gunn. I think he's still trying to find his footing, I think, over there. But I like a lot what I hear about the Superman sequel and how they're
Yeah.
using Brainiac as the villain, which is something that I thought they should have used even since Christopher Reeve days. And they never have. So
Hmm.
I like that. So I mean, from what I hear, the direction, and there's a Green Lantern movie coming, and Nathan
Also
Fillion
a
was fantastic as Guy Gardner, and
yes. Also a Clayface movie?
yes, yes, yes. So I mean, I think he's putting the spokes in the wheel that
Yeah,
he's building, and I think so far so pretty good. I mean, definitely better than before.
right.
I think Zack Snyder had no clue what to do with DC, and he pretended like he did.
Yeah.
And Warner Brothers believed him, and that was not the comics I grew up watching. Is what he did. So I mean, I think it's still a little early, but I think that they are on the right track. But like it's hard not to compare them to those first Marvel movies.
I know, I know, I
Those just
know.
those Captain America, the first one, Iron Man, the first one, the first Guardians, the first of all of those movies were just knockouts.
Yep.
Um, and it's hard to compare to that because I really, the more that Marvel keeps going, the more I really believe that time, that 10-year period there was just lightning in a bottle.
It was.
Um,
I agree
you
with you
know,
completely.
and
I
I
and
don't
even
think you're ever going to get that again.
No, and Marvel's trying to do it themselves too. Marvel's in trouble too. I mean, it's
Yeah.
it's not just DC. And DC has really only had the big major successes is with the Batman franchise. But I still they're not going to stop trying because it's too good of stories to not tell, I suppose. But I think also, you and I have talked about this before, is, the superhero fatigue that people can fall into, although now it's definitely not as in your face as it once was, but There's still some of that there lingering. And
Yeah,
this year,
sorry.
thankfully, we don't have too many of them. We have this. We have the Spider-Man movie, which I'm really looking forward to. That looks fantastic. I've loved all the Spider-Man movies, to be honest with you.
Hmm.
They very rarely have with Tom. Let's base it
Right.
up with Tom. The second one maybe was a little, the weakest, but they've all been really good. So that is one particular area of Marvel that seems to be still doing really well, in my opinion. And then we've got Avengers Doomsday, which I don't really know what to feel about it. I'm excited, of course, but is it going to be good? I don't know. What do you think?
It's I think it is actually, but
Hmm.
I mean, I'm excited to see the original X-Men cast. I don't know how they're going to work that in, but I trust them. I'm not sure how it works with Robert Downey playing Doomsday when we all know him as Iron Man. I'm sure they'll explain it, or maybe we'll just kind of never see his face, and it's just more his voice. And but again, I trust them. Yeah, it'll be interesting because it's an Avengers movie that didn't have the exciting buildup that the last ones did.
Yeah.
Again, like it's hard to recapture that. So I feel like this is kind of in a way, it could be like a standalone Avengers because the films that came before it, some of them weren't that great.
Yeah.
Um, but we'll see.
Yeah.
Um,
And the other good thing
I
that this Supergirl had going for it, Craig Gilliespie, who's pretty solid director.
yes.
He helmed this, and even though I'm sure James had to have some touches from Gunn because of the Guardians sort of look and feel a little bit to it, but other than that, it was well directed and certainly
Hmm.
paced well. So, I think if James doesn't necessarily want to do all of the directing, that's a good thing. So.
Yeah, yeah, and Craig is. I mean, he did I, Tanya.
Yeah,
Actually, his first film was Lars and the Real Girl, which
which
was
I
Ryan Gosling.
love. Ugh,
Love that movie.
love that
But you look at
movie.
those two and you're like, really, Supergirl? But he did Finest Hours with Chris Pine, which I
Yep,
think is a very underrated movie.
yep,
That movie grabs you from the get-go. It's so powerful. And so because of that movie, I really thought he could do this one. And
yeah.
I thought he did a good job
He
with
did.
directing this one.
He did. He
Uh,
definitely did.
Especially considering, it could have been a too many chefs situation with James Gunn looking over your
Yes.
shoulder, because I'm sure he was very, very involved with this.
Yeah.
But they worked well together. So
Yeah, it was
now
good.
we've got our Supergirl.
We got our Supergirl. And I loved her in House of Dragons too. I thought she was great in that first season. But yeah, I'd give this a solid, for me, it was 3.5. I
Hmm.
think. How about you?
I might go a little higher to 4.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
I really, really kind of had fun with it, and I think it was mostly because I was having fun with her. I
Yes.
think,
I
and
know.
then
That's what I'm saying.
her
Yeah.
and Jason then together too.
Yeah.
I don't know. It
Yeah.
was just there was such a role for Jason, and I'm glad they took a chance because I'm sure some purists would be like, he was just Aquaman. This is the same universe. Like,
Right.
no, it's different universe. James Gunn has reset it, so
Yeah. No,
anything goes.
anything goes. And so it's definitely worth seeing in the big theater if you need to go,
Yeah,
if you can do that, go see it on the big screen. IMAX, I saw it in IMAX. The audience I saw with really liked it. They were clapping for it at the end. So, um, I think it's going to definitely make some money and we'll hopefully we can keep this DC universe, this DC verse alive. So,
yeah,
good luck, James Gunn. Keep going, buddy.
mhm,
All
indeed.
right. We're gonna real briefly. I'm gonna let you talk about Toy Story 5, which came out last weekend, and of course, it's making all kinds of money. The fifth. I mean, they've all been just pretty amazing movies. But this time around, it's the gang against tech in the form of a lily pad or some kind of a pad
Hmm.
thing,
Yep.
uh, voiced by Greta Lee, who I adore. If you guys ever watch, if you ever do podcasts, I'm not sure if you're into podcasts or not, but The Good Hang with Amy Poehler is one of the best ones out there. And Greta was just on that with her, and they were hilarious together. Of course, maybe people might not remember that Greta Lee had a very hilarious and small part in the film Sisters with Amy and Tina Fey. She plays the nail technician. God, it's hilarious. Anyway, so Greta plays Lily Pad, and then of course we've got Joan Cusack as Jesse, Tom Hanks as Woody, Tim Allen as Buzz, and all your favorites are back for that. So, what did you think of Toy Story 5? I didn't get a chance to see it, so this is all you, Joel. What did you think?
Um, Actually, I feel like Greta Lee might recommend the morning show because
Oh,
her
yes.
character arc on that is killer, really
Yes.
good. And
Yes.
I think her character is really emblematic of the entire show, and in terms of what that show does to people. But that's not here or there. Actually, I thought Toy Story 5 was pretty good. I mean, it's just below the previous four, I think, in the quality. And I think maybe part of it, I've heard some criticism of this, and I tend to agree a little bit, is that yes, it's a very timely piece in that it's like traditional play toys with imagination versus the iPad, which is essentially the lily pad, which uh, the child gets here, and
Yeah.
which is Bonnie is her name.
Hmm.
And so there's a lot of the humans and not as much toys, and the toys play a huge part in it, but there's a big focus about kids making friends and you know these kids with their gadgets, they're looking inside windows and there are three kids having a sleepover and all three are staring at their own gadget and they're not saying a word to any of them.
Right.
And having a 13-year-old right now, I mean, this is hitting really close to home because it's really hard to get her off of any kind of screen. And they really capture that perfectly because they're just like Bonnie, Bonnie, and she's like, uh-huh. And it's like
Yeah.
this glaze, and you're like, I've seen that glaze.
Yeah.
Um, but there are a couple of really cool additions, like Smarty Pants is kind of a potty training tech toy. That's kind of one of the first tech toys, and so it's kind of stashed away, and it's voiced by Conan O'Brien. And there are lots of number one and number two jokes because that's the only two numbers he knows. He can only count to two. Um, it's really funny how they work that in. Um, and what I also loved about it is they've really pumped up Jessie,
Yeah.
the
I
cowgirl.
heard, yeah, I heard
Joan
that this was
Cusack.
kind of her,
Yeah,
yeah, this was her movie. Basically,
this
yeah.
is really her movie, and Joan Cusack's just amazing, and I'm just so happy for her that she got a really big part. I mean, she's a huge part of this movie.
Yeah.
Of course, Tom Hanks and Tim Allen are great. What's really awesome though is that there's like Tim Allen has this work cut out for him. Let's just say that
Okay.
we get introduced to some Buzz Lightyears, plural. Um, which is fun. It seemed like it was a one track story. And I think the thing about Toy Stories in the past is there are a couple other things going on besides the main thing. And this movie was all about this main thing. And
Mm.
um, I think it could have used a little diversifying in its story because it was just kind of, it was still good, but I just think that there was a little more that needed to be done for it. But I mean, I still really much liked it, very much liked it. And I thought the performances were great. Greta was an amazing addition because, again, on the morning show, like she can play like your best friend and then your worst enemy within
Right.
2 minutes.
Right.
And this lily pad, comes off as so super sweet and nice. And then, the door closes and she's just the worst to those toys. And like, it's just so devious. And anyway, it's just, uh, she's not going to go away laying down. Let's just say that.
Yeah.
But it's all really within the Toy Story world, very believable in terms of what they're doing, and yeah, I mean it was enjoyable. The others to me were like 4.5 fives,
Yeah.
and me this is a four.
Okay.
Still very very good, but
Where would you
not
rank it?
quite. Um,
Because I mean, I thought the last one at the Toy Fair or whatever, the fair or whatever they were, I thought
mm,
that was okay, but that wasn't my most favorite one. So
yeah, I think
three is, well, obviously the first one because it sets up
right.
the universe, but then three is the one that just
Yeah,
nearly destroyed me. Just nearly
destroyed me.
destroyed me.
Then two, then five, then
Hmm.
four.
Hmm. Okay.
Um, yeah,
Okay. Do you think they
so
should
that's kind
stop?
of, no,
Okay.
no. I mean, as long as they're introducing, new toys, and getting casting like Conan O'Brien, I think that it's worth going. It just, it's Pixar. It comes down to the story. So it's got
Right.
to be a good story. And I think the story was good in the sense that it really is timely. There's going to be
Oh
some
yeah.
discussions, I bet, families afterwards, and kids are going to be like, "Oh man, my parents are going to take away my screens after this movie."
Yeah.
Um, but
Well,
you know,
it's a problem. I mean, it's a
it
big
is a
problem.
problem.
And I know parents, I know a few parents who are limiting screen time for their kids and whatnot. And, I think it's probably a good thing to do that. Thankfully, I didn't have to really worry about it too much because by the time my daughter was, you know, kind of off playing with toys, that's kind of when phones became a big thing. And Max, my son Max, he was always, he that bypassed him altogether. But there was always video games too. I mean, they loved
Mhm.
video games. So there was he was that was a big part of Max's growing up too, was playing video games. So I mean, it's been out there. I think I think my generation's basically the last of when the kids are the last of, no tech and just playing
Yeah,
with toys. So um
yeah.
yeah. It is what it is. And I think you just have to find a happy medium with all of it.
Mm.
Um, I don't know. I don't know what it says about the world, but the world is the way it is, and you can't completely shy away from it. But at the same time, you can, I guess curtail it. I mean, your daughter's 13, Bella. She's 13.
Yep, yep, yep.
Yep. So
Yeah, and they raise a good point in the movie. I mean, we all want our kids to fit in or fit in
yeah,
or also
that's
like
true.
be their own person too. But like, the pressure to fit in is so high, and like they really paint that picture in this movie. And Bonnie is the only person on the block that doesn't have a gadget. And it's kind of like she's being left behind. And then sure enough, they
Right.
get her a gadget. And then whoop, 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 she's got friends. And like,
Right.
yeah, they're online friends, but they're also kids she goes to school with. So it kind of brought her friends more than her toys did. So that was kind of
Yeah.
a thing that, like, on one hand, it is connecting our kids to their friends, but it's doing other things too. But
Yeah.
it's a good discussion to have, and I'm glad they tackled it in this movie. It was good
Yeah.
timing.
Okay. All right. Okay, and finally we're going to talk about Disclosure Day, which was a few weeks ago, but I feel like maybe you and I should just have a quick conversation about it. Um, it is the latest from Steven Spielberg, who we love and love and love and love. And guess what? He's back to talk about aliens. Aliens are like, "Oh,
Hmm.
Mr. Spielberg, sir, welcome back."
Hmm.
Um, the
We've missed you.
premise, we've missed you. The premise is basically, what we've all had, all the conspiracies we've heard throughout ever since the 1950s with Roswell or 40s, whatever it was, that aliens have come on Earth a lot, and the government's completely covering it up, and, uh, should we all know about it, basically, is the premise of this film. And it's kind of told through the story of these two main people played by Josh Charles and Emily Blunt, who, for whatever reason, are the two ones that the aliens have somehow connected with in a way, so that they are the ones to go ahead and tell the world about aliens. Um, I'll start off, but with this because I did get a chance to see it. I was very, excited about seeing this movie, and unfortunately, my anticipation for the film, it's always a bad thing when you're really excited about something and think it's going to be fantastic, and then you go see it and it's not quite what you expect, right? That's kind of what happened with me with this. I enjoyed it 100%. It's Spielberg, it's aliens, it's, conspiracies. It's also Coleman Domingo's in it and Colin Firth, and the story was interesting and it's compelling, and it moves forward. But I don't know. I just wasn't wowed by it. I wanted to be wowed and I kind of just wasn't. Um, Josh O'Connor, sorry, I don't not Josh Charles. That's a totally different actor. Josh O'Connor, sorry. Um, I don't know. There were some parts too I just didn't quite understand. Like, why would it just be these two people when we've heard about alien abductions and, you know, and then of course I started comparing it to Close Encounters, which I shouldn't have done, but I did. And in Close Encounters, it's a global situation, right? So these aliens have basically touched and somehow connected with a million people all over around the world, but only a few end up making it to the mountain to go see them, because the rest of them couldn't get there, or they thought they were crazy, or they just, they ignored it, or whatever the case may be. There was a lot of them, right?
Mhm.
And this time around, I didn't quite understand why it would just be these two, who who end up getting, visited as kids and blah blah blah. But I don't know. That just didn't make sense to me, kind of. And then even though Emily Blunt was fantastic, she's another one that kind of makes the movie the way it is. I thought Josh O'Connor was good too, but really it's Emily's film in a lot of respects. So she's the one who has the most connection and the most power, so to speak. Um, and I mean, I guess the ultimate goal of the film, because here's the log line on IMDb is if you found out we weren't alone, if someone showed you, proved it to you, would that frighten you? And I get it. That's the premise of the film. And of course, in the film as well, if we're spoiling it for you, I'm sorry, but so you can go see it. But the premise in the film as well is that, we're on the brink of World War III. And that maybe that's when these aliens decide, okay, we got to let's try to change the narrative here a little bit and see if we can calm everybody down or bring people together or not. So I don't know. I was just left kind of like, okay. Even though I did enjoy it and it was Spielberg and it was well directed and well acted, I just kind of went away from it going, okay. I don't know. How about you?
Yeah, I mean, I'm a Spielberg nut, so I might not be the best person to objectively say this, but I do agree completely with I expected to have my socks knocked off and they weren't.
Right.
Um,
Right.
the trailer, honestly, I think the trailer, enjoyed the movie. I did. Um, I liked it and I would recommend it, but I think the trailer didn't do it any service because
Yeah.
it gave this feeling of this pulsating urgency that, was going to build towards something. And,
Right.
it I didn't sense that in the film itself
Yep. Yeah.
as much. And so I think, if I was Spielberg, I'd be like, whoa, I think that trailer might be better than my movie. Um, and
That happens.
that that happens, and because the trailer's 2 minutes and then you have another 95 minutes to fill. I mean, there's something, I mean, for me, the biggest headline here is the latest and probably last collaboration between Steven Spielberg and John Williams.
Yeah.
That has given us the soundtrack of our lives in a lot of way when it comes to the cinema.
Right.
And I thought, it's another piece of proof that John Williams gets Spielberg. And Spielberg repeatedly would say that I'm not the filmmaker I am without his music.
Right.
Um, and he just it's apparent again that John Williams really gets Steven Spielberg. And even if it didn't quite go the way we thought it would, I mean, John Williams scored accordingly,
Right. Right.
he's just there to score the movie that's given to him. So I thought the score was great. And I thought Emily was great. Colin Firth, who I think is one of the greatest actors of his generation,
Yeah.
I don't think he was very good at all.
No, he was a little bit wasted, wasn't he?
Yeah, and in some ways, I almost feel like he was in the wrong movie. Like he didn't.
Yes.
He yeah, he kind of was. He was in a different movie than Emily Blunt. But that could also be how he was directed, or maybe Spielberg figured somebody would first stature, that's his character, and I hired him to do that character, and that's fine. But I don't know if I was the director, I might have been like, maybe we take a different angle on this
Yeah, I
guy.
mean, why was
Maybe,
it him too? I mean,
yeah.
um,
Um, so
just all of
yeah.
it. Yeah, I mean, the probably the most moving part of it is when they show the footage, they finally release the documents and the video of everything, the proof. And so there was some definite heart tugging on that, I thought. But also, they had some alien tech, and you know, why aren't they trying to figure out how to? Because I figure right now, if there's alien tech and there's aliens and whatever, I'm sure that they're trying to figure out how to use it and make it. That would be the thing I think they would be doing rather than you know harming aliens or whatever. But it's like you have this tech thing. Why aren't you trying to figure out how to work the tech? They just use it to their benefit to keep everything secret. I don't know. Yeah, that whole Men in Black part of it, because right, isn't that the deal is
Mm,
that men in black suits and sunglasses come to your door and tell you you can't tell anybody you saw a spaceship in the
mhm.
sky. Um, so yeah, that didn't make any sense. The Coleman Domingo, again, he's a great actor and he was wasted too. I didn't quite understand that. It's like,
Yeah, there were a couple of,
how did they know to build her house? I mean, I just didn't understand a lot of it. I just didn't get it. It didn't make any sense. There was no connection really. If it were just a pure, whistleblowing type of film, they just didn't go about it the way they could have, I think.
mm,
I don't know. It just didn't hit me. I was disappointed a little bit. But not at the same time because it is Spielberg and it was entertaining. It's not like I sat
right.
there and goes, "This sucks." But
No,
it was
no.
just something about it that just there's some parts to that just didn't make any sense to me, and I wanted it. I wanted more. I wanted more.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
Close Encounters was like a near perfect movie,
Hmm.
basically based on the same idea in a way. Um, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, that is, I think that's my favorite Spielberg movie. I mean, obviously, I know what yours is.
Well,
Da-da,
yes, of course.
da-da.
John Williams. Hello, John
Yeah,
Williams.
again.
Here,
Yeah.
John, here's a movie about a big giant shark. Just go ahead, score it for me. Oh, okay. You want me to?
I
All
only
right.
need
Let me
two
just make the
notes.
most iconic score of all.
Mhm. And
Actually, no.
here's the best part. It's only two notes. Two notes. What are
Done
you
it.
talking about? Just two notes, and it will scare the crap out of you. Okay, I'll take your word for
Uh,
it. Guess what?
yeah.
It did.
Oh my
So,
God. So good. Well, anyway, I would just I feel bad. I mean, I would give Disclosure Day for me a 3. I mean,
yeah, that's what I was going for.
I just can't
A
quite
three.
love it. I just can't quite love it. I wanted to love
Well,
it. Oh
that
well,
that that happens, you
it
know.
does happen. It does happen. It does. So
Yeah.
anyway, I would say go see Disclosure Day or see it eventually, and then watch Close Encounters, and then you can make your own decisions on what you
Mm.
think is a better film. Um, but yeah. So that's it for us today. Yay. Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Joel. And again, everybody, thank
Mm.
you for tuning in to us. We really appreciate the likes and the subscribers and all of that good stuff. So we really appreciate your listenership. And we're going to be back again probably in the next couple of weeks. Again, life is happening again, so it might take a bit of time, but I think the Odyssey might be our next biggie. That's
Yep,
might
it
uh,
is.
that'll be our next biggie to go to talk about. So stay tuned
And
for that. I think,
yeah,
well, let's see. Coming up next week is Minions and Monsters, but we probably won't talk about that.
right.
That's sort of review proof in
Yeah,
in a lot of respects.
yeah.
But I have to say, the
Um,
Minions make me laugh. They make me laugh.
yeah, they do.
It's when they
They
talk
do.
is when they make me laugh. So
I
yep,
love it.
that's the big July 4th weekend film. It's Minions and Monsters. So, but yeah,
Yes.
stay tuned for us and we'll be back for more. And thanks again for listening and we'll talk to you guys soon. Bye bye.